Hey, let me ask you a key question. Where would be any country's economy? What is really making any country economy grow? Would you say it's large businesses or small businesses? Large good or SMEs? I think we all agree that, for a country to really grow significantly, to transform its economic situations, I think the SME plays a vital role. You can see, for example, countries like Germany is a typical example of that. Yeah. And as we're talking about those SMEs, actually, there's a lot of courageous people who are actually launching such businesses, especially family businesses. Heroic people that decide, okay, here is a problem. Let me address that. Let me make sure so that I can develop the local market. Yes, very important. So, what will happen then if really in Africa we have such mindsets where we have people that really say, hey, I'm just going to take the bull by the horn, whatever sector it is, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to develop a solution no matter what the challenge and push ahead. Yes, a guy like Dangote has done it. I know it's been recently in the headlines, but guess what? Behind the Dangotes, there are new Dangotes emerging. There's new people growing and going faster. And today, you know, no surprise, or rather a surprise for you. I actually want to celebrate two such businesses, two businesses that I know very closely because what they've done, I've seen them started, I see how they're going, and I could see the vision, and I can tell you this is going to be big. So today it's all about celebrating them, and that's what I want to do. I want to talk to you about AU Motors, but also FreezeLink. So, what do they have in particular? What make them so special? This is what I would like to share with you today. Is that okay? Excellent. Stay tuned, guys. Hello, everybody. So, my name is Tony T. I'm the founder here of Renewables in Africa. What makes us very special is that we raise awareness about renewables energy in Africa, but also across the globe. So, whether you are a solar developer, a project developer, or you are an EPC company, or you are an investor or a supplier, you say, hey, I want to tap into Africa. I want to grow my market, my company into this beautiful continent. That's the great news. And I want to work with you. I want to work with you, but I know as well that there's probably going to be two key questions that you have in your mind. Number one, how can I reduce my business development costs? And number two, how can I fast track, my customer acquisition process? And guess what? The good news is I could help you to solve these two problems. So we develop some awareness packages that provide answers to those two questions, and more specifically, three things that we're able to give you. Number one is the visibility, because no matter how great your solution look like, if you are not known by your target audience, out of sight, out of mind, you need to get that visibility. So we're gonna give you the visibility, not just to everybody, to your target audience, the people that buy your product, but also your services, people that will make you rich. Yeah, that's what we're saying here. And guess what? When you have that visibility, now you would be able to, I would say, get qualified leads. From the qualified leads, you can get to the sales. So this is what's going to happen to you. And guess what? I know you probably have a couple of questions, hanging in your mind at the moment. That's absolutely fine. I want to sit down with you, 15 minutes, no more. Book a meeting with me. Let's sit down. Let me show you what I've done for other people. And let me demonstrate to you why I strongly believe that it would work as well for you. You just have to trust me for 15 minutes or bear with me for 15 minutes, and I can show you what I've done and you can decide. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. That's fine. So I was talking about SMEs. SMEs, this is actually what transform any economic situation, right? Any economy across the world. And it's actually going to be the same in Africa. And today, there's actually two key distinguished companies that I want to celebrate, and I want you to know about them. And I want you, where possible, to support them because they are making change on the ground. Yeah, on the ground. And I cannot help but definitely raise some attention, give them a little bit of visibility so that you know who they are. So I'm gonna start by talking to you about AU Motors. So you may have heard of eMobility, right? So we talked to them, we talked about them recently because they launched a crowdlending campaign, and we're going to come back to that. So what is eMobility, right? eMobility is this fantastic company. Let me share the link with you as I'm talking to you about that, so you could see who they are. So let me have uh, yes, I will share the link with you so you could see who they are. So, Air Motors is this fantastic company. It's a Benin-based company. So, what they're doing is actually they are designing and building the electric motorcycle, for Benin, and they're looking to encourage people in the country to completely shift their obviously their habits in terms of buying ice motorcycle, will actually changing for electric bike. Why? Because it helps solve many issues all at once. Issue of poverty, right? It helps reducing expenses, allowing people to retain a lot more income. And who would not want that? I'll just go that. They're gonna definitely uh, reduce income because guess what? With these solutions and studies have shown, people can save about between 50 and 100% of the revenue, essentially doubling their revenue by just shifting from ICE vehicle to an electric vehicle. Good health, right? Reducing pollution because you have zero tailpipe emission, which directly contribute to both the health of the drivers but also the passengers. Yeah. So I'm showing you Air Motors here so you could see who they are, the kind of product that they're doing here, and obviously good economic work and also economic growth because the working condition are improved and the additional income can help foster economic growth and last but not the least obviously reduce carbon emissions. So these are the guys I'm talking about when I'm talking about obviously AO Motors, and I want to talk to you about them because I mentioned them in the past, right? So they really making fundamental change, and yes, they're not the only, obviously, e-mobility company actually operating in the market in Africa. There are many others. Those one I happen to know them a little more closely, and I want to support them. I want to salute them. I know one of the issues, like many of the SMEs in Africa, is how do they get access to capital so that they can continue to grow? Because guess what? A models they've been created in 2020, right? That's what they've been running for. But the first couple of years, what they've done, they've actually do a lot of surveys, do a lot of R&D to make sure they can develop a product that is fit for the market, fit for the Benin market, because that's where they started before they're going further. They've been able to do that and because they've done such an extreme good work. Essentially, now they've opened their shop in January 2024 and they've been flooded with a lot of demands. More than 2,000 orders, 2,500 orders, more precisely, people wanting to get. And guess what they need to do now is to make sure they can supply that. So one of the way they found to obviously raise that capital is obviously to launch a crowdlending campaign. And then I've talked to that, and we support them to some extent. And I just want to give you some update of how the crowdlending campaign is going. So bear with me a second. So let me share a video.
Hey guys, I have good news for you. I just finished a meeting with Mr. Lee. The fundraising of Land for Good are progressing very well. So I want to inform you that we can thank them. So applause to Land for Good, applause to everyone. We can do it. Okay, so we have
Yes,
to be motivated.
Yes,
Okay?
Yes.
So we have to be motivated to achieve more subscription. Okay? Applause for Land for Good. Applause for Renewables.
Yes, Renewables.
Yes, we can do it. Keep
Yes,
focus.
yes.
Okay, as you can see here, obviously they seem extremely happy about how things are going. And why are they happy? Let me just share the reason why they're happy so you would understand. Yeah. So obviously they have been launching a crowd lending campaign through Lend for Good. As you could see, at the moment they're sitting at 12%. They've already, let's say, free contribution. So, and that is great. And I want to celebrate that. Guess what? Yes, they've not reached yet the target, but you have to celebrate that. And these are people looking thinking outside the box, finding solution in order for them to reach their goal. So how much they want to be raising? So they want to be raising obviously 100K, and I'm showing that here. So if you are interested looking at that, please just go there and take a look for yourself. Let me also make clearly this warning though. That's very important. Yeah. So not actually financial advice here. We're not giving you financial advice here. We're just sharing information. Please, all that we say, if you're interested to look at this opportunity, go on the platform, look at what it is, but obviously make your own due diligence. You know, do your own research. Reach out to the company if you want to make sure that you're comfortable with that. If you're comfortable and you decide to work with support them, excellent. That's great. That's the great news. But these are not obviously financial recommendation. Not at all. We're simply sharing the information. But what we're saying here, we want to celebrate them because we like what they're doing. And across the continent, similar companies are looking to make a difference, right? So to encourage people to switch from ICE motorcycle into electric motorcycle and motors in one of them, and they're making great progress. And I want to say to them, excellent guys, good going forward. And like I said, I know challenges step ahead, you know, journey ahead. But hey, that's the way we go. That's the way we actually changing this continent. And company like that, I really want to celebrate and salute them. So definitely, if you are interested by the platform, by the crowdlending campaign. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna drop the link below, and you guys can go and have a look at that, and hopefully you can find out a lot more information. Is that okay? Excellent. That's great. So there is a second company I want to talk to you about, and this second company as well, I like them a lot, right? And they call FreezeLink. So let me just share the link of FreezeLink. So they're into the cold chain business, and this is something that we're not talking a lot about, but we should be. But what is the challenge here? The challenge here is Africa possess 65% of the world uncultivated arable land. Yeah. The problem is they have yet to really tap into this potential to basically realize this potential. Why? Because there's two significant gap. The first gap is access to local market, you know, for local African food producer. And the second thing is obviously adequate logistics. Yeah. So especially for cold chain. So it means that we have a great strategy here that we see, which is 45% of fruit and vegetable alone are spoiled before they reach customers. So if that doesn't speak volume to you, it means that they're actually losing 48 billion annually, right? That's what they do because of 45% of fruit and vegetable are lost, yeah? And that obviously lead to a lot of food insecurity that we're seeing, yeah? And obviously, if you're looking at how does it also translate if you look at the import bill, because obviously the countries in Africa, because they can't have food security, they're having to import a lot of the fruit and vegetable, and that's about 110 billion. That's what is going to be the bill by 2025 because we can't tap into that. Obviously, there's a company called FreezeLink who's really want to change the game in here. And again, here I want to be sharing with you the uh the um the link of FreezeLink, obviously the website, as you can see, freezing.co. It's a company in Ghana. It's run by, or like I say, a very close, very good friend of mine. So they learned a cold chain business. The whole idea here is to help really local producer to have access to local markets. And basically, what they're doing is to building here the cold chain infrastructure in order to to move those perishable goods, you know, from obviously the field all the way to supermarket. And this is what they are doing. And this is actually brilliant what they're doing. I think I liked a lot and I wanted to really support that. And the solution that they've been developing, it's to work on a directly sourcing of perishable African food. And by using the contact, the cold chain, they want to create a bridge between those food producers and also local and global market in order to achieve obviously multiple benefit. Yeah, we're talking about here empowering African food producer, reducing post-harvest losses, but also reshape the global food security. And as I say, so I just like what they do a lot. And the reason I'm mentioning that to you is because let me just share something here. So basically, they have been sharing some excellent news with me recently. So essentially, what has happened is recently they've been able to achieve some great milestone where they've started for the first time in Ghana, being able to provide so local broiler chicken, right? So into supermarket in Ghana. You can see here, obviously the brand is called Coco Tasty. Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of publicity for them here, but yeah, you know what? I don't mind. I don't mind, and I'm happy to be able to do so because I want people to know that. So that's actually the work that people do. They say there is a problem here. So our food producer don't have access to local market. What can we do? They've decided to step in and create a solution, create a bridge. Yeah, and guess what? Their hard work, and I can tell you it was hard work because obviously I've been talking to them, being able to be able, because now for the first time they're able to bring that into supermarket, and that is just fantastic, fantastic news, and it's ought to be celebrated. And for me, once obviously they keep on learning, they keep on obviously moving forward and mastering the supply chain, mastering the game. Guess what? They're gonna be now able to open up the market big time, really seriously. And I mean it. Now, I weigh my word, big time to a lot of those footprints and change the game. And guess what? They're going to be African giant, just like El Motors. So that's why I wanted to spend today to celebrate those two people, those two companies. So El Motors to one side with a crowdfunding campaign. 12% they've achieved already. And I'm encouraging you to take a look at that if it's something that you believe will be useful for you and to support. And also, we're talking about here, so freezing. And guess what? I can give you a secret. So I got a feeling that freezing will be obviously raising very soon as well. Our campaign. So, but let's see where when when we get to that stage. So this is what I wanted to share with you, guys. This is what it's all about. You see a problem, don't just sit and complain and say, "Oh, this and that. He hasn't done it. She hasn't done it." No. What are you doing? How are you fixing the problem? How are you becoming the ill motors or the FreezeLink, of your sectors? How are you coming up with solutions, with basically a new approach to things, to problem, and shaping the whole industry? That's what I'm actually calling you to do today. Because if you do that, yes, together we can really change the world. But guess what? With all of that, once you develop the solutions, the service, and you actually make it unique in that perspective, never forget it's all about making sure that your target audience know who you are, out of sight, out of mind. And that is the very reason I want to bring those guys to attention. And this is where we are willing to work with you, Renewables in Africa. How can we help you to make sure that we can give you the visibility that you need in order to get for you to get the lead that you need, in order for you to make the sales that you need? Yeah. So let us work with you. Let us work with your innovation, with your new solution to take it forward. So that's what I wanted to say today. So I'm extremely happy for these two companies to celebrate them. Please take a look at them. And then, yeah, so let's support them the best we can. So you have a beautiful Sunday, and I can't wait to see another one of those giants in the future. Make sure that you invest in this company when you can. Like I say, my little finger is telling me they're gonna be big. Take care, guys, and have a beautiful Sunday, right? Okay, take care. Bye bye.